The network is a little bit unstable, but here we are, and we are going to do this right. So thank you everyone for joining us this evening for this online curatorial tour of the exhibition Arewa, Me Too. So before I move on into talking about the exhibition and also doing the tour with everyone, I would like us to take the next 1 minute to do a minute silence for all the victims that lost their life to gender-based violence. So this is, can you hear me, Maya? Okay, so I assume everyone else can hear me. So this is 14 minutes, and then for the next 1 minute, we take a minute silence for all the victims that lost their lives to gender-based violence against them. Thank you. Thank you everyone for observing that with me. Many times we don't pay attention, lost their lives. Some fighting gender-based violence, some who experience it. You know, there's a lot going on in the world, and we sometimes get too busy that we don't even pay attention to those who lost their lives in the process. And as much as we keep talking about this, as much as we'll keep talking about this, it's also important to pay the respect to those who, in the process of fighting, to those who also experienced this, lost their lives. So we just like move on, move on into the exhibition proper. So the title of the exhibit combines, you know, the local term for Northern Nigeria, Arewa. Some people pronounce it much better than I do, but just, you know, Arewa, and global hashtag against sexual movement against sexual violence, and that's Me Too. So when I was, you know, going to apply for the Apex Art open call, I had this proposal already written down. I'd submitted it even to a gallery as an exhibition idea. And because of the non-selling part, you know, because it was important to me that the message is being passed across than the works being sold. So because I feel like selling the works kind of cheapen the whole thing we were talking about in the first place. It's like trying to put a price on people's experiences, people's life, you know. And so it wasn't really like welcomed. So when it was time to, when I heard about the Apex Art exhibition open call, I was looking for the best title to give to the proposal, to the exhibition idea, and nothing really was strong enough to kind of capture what the exhibition is about. And then I thought about combining the, you know, local term for Northern Nigeria, since that was the focus, or that is the focus, and global, because as much as this is a local thing, it's also global. So I was trying to infuse that locality and the globalness, into the title, and that's how I come about Arewa, Me Too. So it's looking at gender-based violence, especially against women in northern Nigeria. I understand that this is, like I said, a global issue, and a lot of people are experiencing this all over the world. And even according to United Nations research and research, it's believed that 1 to 3 women experience gender-based or even sexual violence in the whole world. It's it's an estimate. It could be more than that, but that's just like an estimate. And so I understand that it's global. It's happening everywhere. It's happening in Nigeria. It's happening in Lagos State. It's happening in all the states. But coming down to North was so important to me based on various reasons. First of all, I would say that I was first of all inspired by an encounter I had with a young girl when I went for my national youth service. She opened up to me for the first time, narrating her experience, and I was, in a way, kind of young. I had no voice to even give a voice to somebody else. I couldn't do anything. I just, in a way, kind of advised her, on things I know doesn't work that way. But it was just like my own understanding at that point. I couldn't really do anything. And I realized that a lot of women also have these experiences, and most of us, I said most of us because it's also personal. It's also an experience that I also had, so I said most of us, don't get to talk about it until when we feel we are comfortable. And most of the time when we are like, maybe talk about it, not to even confront it, but to kind of put away the burden, just like open up to somebody else. So I've been rethinking, how to kind of give platform to people, also give a voice to a lot of women, a lot of girls, issues in Nigeria. So like I said, at the point of now making it very local, Maya, you wanted to say something. My network is unstable?
No, you're great. You're great. I can hear you great. Continue. Thank you.
I know it's buffering, but we'll be fine. So at the point of bringing it local, like I said, I also wanted, a lot of things are happening, but people are not really like, say, maybe the noise, the attention is there, even though we can not attend to this issue 100%. But, there are some states, there are some places where, and so it was important to me to really like bring it to the north. And then also because of the news, the experiences, girls being kidnapped, girls being raped by older men, all of this going on. And I kept on wondering, why are people not talking about this? What is going on, and how can I, as well as the artists, talk about this? Like I always say to anyone I talk to about this exhibition does not in any way capture everything going on. It doesn't in any way stand as the end. This is a voice. This is we also add into the conversation, ongoing conversation. This is us steering a conversation as well as a movement in the North, and open that by this exhibition, a lot of people will begin to talk out, a lot of people will begin to confront this silence that we've all experienced, as a people, as a nation, as women, and change, would begin. But yeah, we need to start somewhere, and we're starting with Kaduna. We are hoping to go, everywhere, saying the same thing all over and all over and all over again. So thank you so much for joining us. And I think at this point, I'll just like do a tour of the exhibition so that, we can get the conversation going. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so I'll just like hand over the camera to someone who is going to help in. As you can see, this is the exhibition space. Okay, so let me just talk a little bit about this exhibition space. This is Yasmin El-Rufai Foundation. This is a hall in the building, and it was important to also, when I was looking for a space to exhibit, to do the exhibition, it was important to do the exhibition in a space where women empowerment is like important and already ongoing. And the Yasmin El-Rufai Foundation is, they're already doing that, empowering women, in every way that they can. So when I approached them about this exhibition, they were really like excited, and I feel like that kind of aligned with their own mission and goal as well. So it's important where this exhibition is like being done. And so this space aligns, and I'm glad about that. So we just like go. So I would like to start with Martha Panshak Dasat. I'd like to start with her work. Please come closer. Yeah. So because she in general, she's addressing gender-based violence, including forced marriage, including child marriage, which is like paramount in the North, but people don't know that this is like the foundation. This is like where the problem also starts from, when a young girl is, thinking about not sure of her future, because someday she could be married off to an older man, because it's just like the culture, it's like the tradition. I mean, change is coming, but it happens, and we cannot just like close our eyes to these things. And so Martha's work addressed this because from our experience, from stories that she has heard from people around her, she has been able to put everything together into a series, a body of work, which she titled Endangered Gender. And, so you would see here, this is a picture of a girl, a very beautiful girl, but holding flowers. The title is Waiting. This is, that stage of a girl's life where she's just like waiting for the next thing. She's not like dreaming too much. She's not hoping for something big, because something might happen anytime because of what is going on in, as a custom, as a tradition. And so she's just like waiting for the time where she's going to be married off to somebody. And in a way, it's limiting, which is what this whole exhibition is about. But it's important to like let girls see that this is not normal. It's like a custom, it's like a tradition, but it's not normal. And so this is also a young girl in a bridal dress. She's wearing a white dress, normally known for a white or church wedding. And so you'll be surprised and think that these things happens to only maybe Muslim girls. No. Because from our documentation and our body of work, this also applies to any girl from any religion. It's not really about the religion, so to say. It's something that is happening in the region and not really like focused on the religion of the person. And so I really find it interesting, the fact that she's so intentional, even about the wedding dress being a white one, which is commonly, someone says, please, ma'am, I can't hear from my ends. Please, if you can't hear me, let me know so that I know it's a general thing and not just one person. Okay, so yeah, so this is a bride in veil, so I can hear you fine. Okay, let's move on. Yeah. So she's also, in a wedding dress, married. You see the look on her face. so unhappy, so unnatural. Let's turn here. This is another body of, another work. This is The Bride, and it's also a story of two young girls who were friends and about the same age, and they were married off at the same time, at the same period. These are not like the actual people, please. But from what the story that she knows, she has been able to document it using different characters, but telling the same story, a real life story. This is another work. I was saying that in general for Martha, she's talking about forced marriage, child marriage, which in a way has been normalized, but it's totally not normal. And with this body of work, we hope that when girls, school children, young girls come to this exhibition, they would be able to see how normal this is, how this is not a normal thing. And so even to bring these children here, I've gone to schools distributing the exhibition flyers because we want the message to be passed across to them. It's not just for the online community. We want them to come because I've also interacted with a few, and I realized that a lot don't even see it as a big deal, and so that's Matter. And let's go to Judith. This is Judith. Our work is there are three body of work, and she has created them in a way that they tell a story. So there are four photographs, but one body of work telling the same story of how women have been silenced, covered, in shame, not given the platform to voice out what they are going through in the society. So this is a picture of a young woman covered in red and her eyes covered. You might be wondering, oh, so why is her eyes covered? What is the meaning of what is going on here? This is just an illustration of what is going on to a lot of women. How women are kind of blinded by societal expectations, kind of blinded by religion, traditions, custom, and they don't get to see here as a mouth covered. And so the mouth being covered is covering someone's freedom of speech, being able, the ability to talk, the freedom to express yourself, the freedom to speak out. This is an illustration of how a lot of women have been restricted, have been kind of kept in this culture of silence over time. And even for victims, according to her, even victims of gender-based violence sort of have been silenced because of what the society thinks, about their experience. Instead of being welcomed, instead of being supported, they are also kind of restricted. And that is what this body of work is. So that's the first thing, the eyes being covered. This is the second one, of the mouth being covered, which is restricting the freedom to talk, restricting the freedom to express themselves against gender-based violence. And this is the third one. And this, you notice there's a difference between this and the first work. Here she has her face covered, but also with a mark. And that's that's blurred on her face. Please let me bring it closer. Yeah, so this is the third stage, according to her, in the women's experiences. This is where things really get crazy, where things get aggressive for most of these women. After being, silenced, after being blinded, it gets to a stage where our figure, our own, the person she used couldn't take it anymore. And this is where the confrontation starts, really, where she starts getting uncomfortable with the situation. And then this is a very aggressive stage. which now brings us to like the last stage of this experience for this person that she has documented, where she's now struggling to remove what has been used to like, you know, keep her, what has kept her silent, you know, over time. And so it's important to me that when women come, they are inspired to speak up, they're inspired to fight, you know, these restrictions in the society. They're inspired, you know, I want them to find strength in this work and be able to speak up and be able to fight, and to know that the fight is, they are not fighting alone, you know, it's a collective thing. And so after this body of work, the second body of work is reflective healing, where she explored the use of words and image as a quick way for people to heal. You know, to her, according to her, words of affirmation, supportive words from people, has over time proven to be proven to help victims heal faster. You know, when they are encouraged with words, good words, I mean, not the words that like bring them down. And so she has used like words of affirmation. She has incorporated them, juxtaposed this into the images to speak to people and to let them know that it's a collective, you know, this process of healing is a collective one. Yeah, it's the same here. Most of the words were composed by her. Please come here. They were composed, you know, by her, and they were also like personal to her. And I'm going to read one of the words to our people, you know. So if you don't mind, I think we have all the time. I can read to you. I mean, that's why we are here anyway. So, dear you, to everyone who is online, to every woman out there, to every young girl out there who feels alone, who feels rejected, and like as though the battle is, you know, it's too strong to be won. It says, dear you, why are you staring so loudly? I bet if you stand here long enough, you hear the voices in my head screaming at me. He said, they are loud, they drown me out. Very convincing too. So I left you listening, I caught you listening, and they tell me how this pain ends. I'm silent. Sadly, life hasn't allowed many options. It's dark and loudly, and it's also engulfing. Close up, but it's piercing depth. I'm sorry, I'm coming, and causes me to fall even deeper. It's a long read. I think I'm just gonna go on. It's down and down until I'm too far down. Unable to climb upwards. I stay and shut you out. I don't think you can try to fix me. I've known pain, a different kind. The type that tears, deceit, but stretches out of the hand of trust. The type that comes with the notion of love, but breaks, no, shatters you within. It transforms you to a mere shadow of who you are. You cease to live, you stop living, you just exist. Keeping up appearances through the pain, the trauma, the emotional bleed, the tears you shed in pain, I have felt the pain. The kind that pierces the soul, that breaks you, that makes you broken and no one to piece you back together. So you keep breaking over and over and over till there is very little of what's left of you. And when you feel you can't deal with it any longer, when you are tired and worn out, you begin to seek for an exit, a way out, salvaging what's left and hoping it's not too late to be saved. I mean, those are like very powerful words. Yeah, very powerful words and very strong. And at the same time, it brings hope, you know, as though you are not alone. This person is not alone. No one is alone, and we all feel these things. We all know how this works, but I mean, I assume, but there is help for anyone, you know, who is going through the same. It's just like letting people know that a lot of people are also going through the same thing. And together we can fight, together we can win, together our voices can be heard. That's majorly what this series, you know, it's about, combining words, supportive words, affirmative words, together with images as a collective way of healing for everyone. So sorry to stress you, please let's move on. So this is Halima Abubakar's work. Okay, so we can see this. Yeah. I'm sorry, it's a little bit, it's getting darker here, so it's getting dark, but yeah, I hope you can see it. So Halima Abubakar explores societal expectation of womanhood. The society has, you know, this notion of what or how a woman should be, the roles and contributions of women, even in the society. You know, there's this general notion that women are born to nurture, women are caring, and so in the societies, you know, women are perceived to grow up and nurture their family, nurture the children, care for the husband, and as such, it's kind of limiting what kind of job or even the kind of work women do. It places like that limitation, you know. Some women are expected to be like housewives, as some people, you know, call it, being home, just standing for the family. And so she uses her own, what's it called, experience, like I said, by exploring the use of color, you know. So through all these colors are like an exploration of her experiences at every stage. When she's sad, when she's happy, when she's anxious, when she's hurt, you know, trying to just like prove to the society what she's capable of, that she is more than just being, you know, a woman, just being a mother, just being a wife, you know, because first of all, it's about selfhood before motherhood, you know, and so she has explored that. It's actually a documentation, a performance that she has documented with images. The video, I'm very sure, is going to be up on the website by tomorrow when we do the opening. And so you can see the process of how she, you know, how she documented her experiences, the mood, what she was going through, and all of that. So please let me show this. Yeah, so you see the women against the wall with the color. It's like reading out her diary to people, you know, and she's, you know, exploring the connection, between pigment and emotions, how that colors kind of, you know, influences our emotion, or how even our emotion influences the colors that we kind of associate ourselves with. And she's also looking at how the role of fabric in identity making, you know. So you see that, and it was intentional, how that she dressed herself up in the colors of the, in the fabric, you know, bearing the same color that she wanted to talk about, and the stitching, the joining of the fabric in a way also kind of documents even how that these experiences are like joined together, how these experiences are a combination of different things that she has gone through. as a woman, and also for other women. And with this series, let's go to the other part, because each work are curated such that at the end of the day, people can like pick things from them, not just like documenting the problems, not documenting what we want to talk about, but that at the end of the day, you can pick a positive thing, a lesson also from the work. So with her, she hopes that women will begin to see themselves the way they want to see themselves, not the way the society sees them. You know, for example, not seeing yourself as, I have to be a wife, someday I have to marry, and so I have to take care of my family. You know, she hopes that when people come into an encounter with her work, women begin to ask personal questions like, who am I? You know, what do I do for myself, first of all, before I start thinking about what the society wants me to do as a woman? It's first of all about you, about who you are, than about this societal expectation, you know. And yeah, so color white, color green, you know, natural white is usually psychologically, even spiritually proven to be associated with purity. So you have to be pure as a woman, you have to be a virgin before you get married, or, you know, you have to just prove to the world that you are pure. And so you see a lot of women trying to live to this standard, societal standard, begin to go through a lot that they can't talk about, because there's just this expectation the society, the family even has for them, you know. Also this color, this work is prudence, this is white lies. Yeah. Do we still have time? We still have time. And so let's move on to Maryam, whose work Maya is, you know, is sitting behind Maya. Okay, so Ahun is painting. The other works that we've gone through, Mata, Judith, and Halima, they are all photographs. But Maryam's work is painting. You know, generally, Maryam is known for promoting women in the North. May I add this at this point, that all the women in these exhibitions are living and working in northern Nigeria. So it was very important to really go deep into northern Nigeria and look for women whose work already address this issue. So they were not just like picked from anywhere. They live here, they know the story. Some are personal, some are experiences of people around them. And so, like I said, Maryam normally, you know, talks about women empowerment, and she looks about the perception, you know, she tries to correct the perception of what kind of job a woman can do in the society, or how far a woman can go, you know, in the society. And so she has documented, you know, using her work, her paintings, to document women in bright colors. Please let me show this. So this is women going to school with books on their head, with buckets on their head, with books and their face, you know, faces covered. With this work, she's talking about education, how that education is, women are also allowed to be educated, and a lot of them needs to be educated, not just the men. I'm trying to balance with the lights, but don't worry about it anyway. And so she, you know, uses this work to talk about the fact that women also needs to be educated in the society. Women need to be allowed to go to school. And if you actually look around, I mean, I've been around, I've walked almost all the time. I see the condition of young girls going to school. You know, this is like well depicted. The condition of going to school, trying to just like get education, with the bucket and, you know, the books on the head and all of that. We hope, according to her, as well as what I hope, that when women, older women who has children now, because this is also like a message for them, women can can begin to give their girls equal rights as they give to their, male counterparts. Begin to see them in a better light. Women are not dull, girls are not dull of learning. They can as well go to school and become great, So, what inspired our own work are great women in the Northern history. The Amina of Zazu, how she led the war, she's inspired, like she wants people to look into history and realize that there are women in the Northern history, in North that, I've done great things. I've done great in the society. And so people should be inspired to give this kind of opportunity also to young girls. This is also one. Women playing musical instrument. This is another of a woman leading a war, a mother for that matter. She's carrying a baby and she's wearing the army attire, official, what's it called, formal dress, carrying a gun. So I mean, you would not imagine to find a woman doing this kind of thing, especially in this kind of in this region. But there are women who are soldiers, there are women who carry guns, who are mothers as well. There are few of them anyway, but then the spotlight is not on them. And then she wants to put that spotlight on them and also encourage younger girls who want to do this kind of things, not to limit themselves because of their gender. Okay. I think we're done. So I just like carry the camera around again for people to just like have another view, general view, and then we can take questions and answer. Okay, so.
Thank you so much, Favour. It's so beautiful to see the work in the space, and you've done such a great job of having these panels built. Did you want to talk a little bit about your thinking around the installation?
Oh, okay. Yeah, so for me, it was important that people are able to go through the works as a way to inspire conversations, for people. I don't want a situation where people come into the space and they're just feeling like, the works are beautiful, and then that's all about it for them. I've created this as a way, it's like a booth for people to come view each work and still be able to stay there, not just in a hurry to want to leave. I've created Judith's work in a way, we installed Judith's work in a way that people can go around it, experience that, be able to walk through the exhibition, stay longer, even though the space, looks a bit, it's a bit small, not that big, but then it was wise for us to just like do this in a way that people can really engage with the work. And yeah, see, we want people to be able to stay.
Yeah, it requires a little bit more active participation.
Yeah,
it requires, a little more active participation from the viewer. Thank you. This has been so wonderful. I think, as a non-Nigerian and as someone based in another part of the world, of course, we hear in the media, really terrifying experiences that women and girls are some of the more, high profile things that have happened. And I think it's so important for us to have the voices actually speaking of the women and girls from the region themselves. So I really am so grateful for you, applying to our international open call at Apex Art and bringing these voices to the international audience and as well as to the local audience. So I thank you so much for that. I'm really grateful. And I know our team is, as well as the rest of the viewers. And I wonder I wanted you to speak a little bit maybe about the power of art, because of course, like you're saying, these issues are so important, and a lot of people are doing activism. Why would you choose to work with the medium of art and work with artists to address some of these questions?
Okay, so thank you. So first of all, I so much believe in art being, agent of change on anything in the world, because it speaks. I believe that it speaks to the soul. It speaks to the heart of man than anything like what you can read in the media, like you were saying. So it was important for me to use this as a medium, and also because these are images, these are like graphics, and I'm hoping when people come into the space, they see, not just like they are hearing, we read, we know these things, but people are not being able, people don't come in contact with something that like kind of visualize some of these things they've read or heard, so it was important for me to use an art exhibition as a medium where people come and see these things live, visualized. And if you look at the works, they are very strong works, the images, the pictures, the women, the girls, they're not smiling at anyone. And so, and yeah, I mean, that was it for me. And then the artists already, in their different practice, they talk about these things. And so I was really like excited to work with them, to also project what they already are talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and again, I encourage people after this tour to go to the website, which is in the chat, to take a closer look at some of those images and click through on your own, because you can see them represented on the page. This exhibition, of course, is significantly the pieces you've shown us, but you do have some upcoming events as well. And one of them is going to be this reading room. And so you're, as a curator, you're expanding beyond just the visual, but also to storytelling. And maybe you can tell us a little bit about that, that reading room event, just to let everyone know online that event is going to be in person in Kaduna. So it's for the women and girls who are there in the community. But I wonder if you could tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so aside the viewing of the works, I'm going to do my best to explain to people who come physically tomorrow to experience the work. But I know a lot of people, after listening and seeing, it might not just make sense to them the first time, and some of them might not even come back to come and view the works. And so it was important to have also an informal kind of gathering where in a fun and also serious manner, we can still talk about this issue, and so it was, I just thought about the reading room where our guest is going to be talking about gender-based violence, especially the financial aspect of the field, and she knows that it's not just about being financially free that stops gender-based violence, but from her counseling over time, she has like wisdom to share to women, girls, and even men who are ready to empower women around them on how to also gain financial stability, which can influence how they see themselves, how they also go about addressing these issues in their society. So I would like everyone in Kaduna, anyone who can make it down, to come. It's on the 19th, of this month, and it's really going to be interesting. She's going to be sharing one of the stories of a woman she met during, I don't want to give too much detail, but I really want people to come. We've also seen that one of the things that limit women from speaking or from even confronting this issue is that financial restrictions that they have, limitation that they have. And so as an expert that she is, she's going to be helping people navigate, that process. right? And I just want to really like thank the artists in this exhibition before we move on to other questions. I know some of them are here. I really want to thank them. They've been so gracious with their work, with the stories, with everything, you know. They've been also supportive. Halima, Abubakar, you know, in the beginning we had several talks, research, trying to just like educate, because like she would always say, it's not only about what you read in the media, you know. So it's really important, and I'm so super grateful that they were willing to join their voices, you know, with mine and address this issue. Okay.
Thank you so much. And yeah, I just dropped those RSVP links for the upcoming event. So of course there's the reading room, which Favour was just telling us about. And there will also be one other conversation with Favour about the exhibition that is going to be part of a seminar that will be happening in Aalborg, Denmark, through Kunsthal Nord. But also Favour will be in discussion around the process of curating the show, working with Apex Art, and also being just curatorial, the curatorial landscape in Nigeria today, and more about the art landscape in Nigeria and maybe how that is addressing some of these important issues and how it's shifting over time. So please are registered to join us for that event as well. And I just want to thank everyone for being here today, and from all of us at Apex Art, thank you so much, Favour. We're so excited that this exhibition is opening tomorrow after all this time, and for giving us this really beautiful sneak peek, even though we had a little bit of technical difficulties. So thank you everyone for bearing with us as we move through that. It was wonderful to see the works. And again, if you click on the link specifically to the exhibition, you can take a closer look at some of these images. So thank you so much.
Yeah, so Maya, I said I was going to say something. I think I won't go without thanking Apex Art, you know, all of you, Elizabeth, you know, for the support you guys have given over the past 8 months since the open call, you know, was, you know, since this exhibition was selected. You guys have been like so amazing, supportive, really. And I don't think I would have gone this far without your support as well. So thank you so much, Apex Art. Stephen, thank you.
And just one more time for those who didn't hear at the beginning, our international open call for our 2022-2023 season is actually live right now up through March 1st. So let me see if I can, Lisa, maybe you can grab that link and just drop it one more time in the chat. So you can also go to our website at apexart.org and learn more about the open call, but please, if share it far and wide. So we love having voices from around the world, and to work with artists and curators to make these really amazing and important shows happen. So please share that link. And again, thank you so much. Thank you, Favour, and we hope to see you at the next event. Good evening, good morning, where you are in the world. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you, Favour. Congratulations.